Well, last time we spoke with Dan Rutherford was just before Christmas, and Dan, I've just realised we've got a week to go until we see the gates opening to the public for the start of the 2012 Ellerslie International Flower Show. How are you feeling?
No pressure, Dave. Yeah, a lot of long days and not a lot of sleep going on at the moment.
Well, last time we spoke, the design was just in your head and on a few bits of paper. Tell us about the design.
It's an exhibit about the earthquake, obviously. I mean, it's what seems to be on all of our minds at the moment. We've been through a really tough year, and I want to try and get that out. As much as anything, it's just for me to get it off my chest and to share that with other people as well. And I also feel that we've been helped by an awful lot of people, and I want to be able to show that in a visual way in a garden.
Now tell me about the design itself. I can see tons of rock, masonry, broken bits of timber. First of all, where did you get all the different bits for your garden?
Well, Nikau, the people who have been dismantling a lot of the buildings around the city, have been really generous and helped me to source a lot of this material. And the building, the series of buildings themselves that it came from were right beside the Catholic Cathedral, and they were a series of sort of little chapel and buildings that have a lot of links with my own family and history.
I drove past that site on the corner of St Asaph and Barbados the other day, and it's all clear now. So the rubble from there, some of it's here. The stone is probably a couple of 100 years old, well over 100 years old. The timber equally as old. What are you trying to recreate here?
Well, I started with a basic framework as a design, and then as the materials have become available, the design has kept developing and developing. But basically what I'm trying to get across with the structure of this thing is to show our lost heritage, that we've had all of these things that we've really believed would be there forever, and they were pretty much the first things to go. And that's not just the structural side of it, it's also the way that we think. Some of the things that we had as a part of our culture have now, we've had to adapt and change. And so that's in now, and you can start to see that. The next thing to go in is the lighting, and that's going to represent the people who've come to help us. And so there'll be some fairy lights up on the top of the roof, and they'll represent people from far away coming to help us. And then as the lights come down in amongst the planting, it represents the way that they've come and nestled themselves into our community, and our communities embrace them. And then last of all, we'll be putting in planting, and there's going to be tens of thousands of plants in here, lots and lots of little wee plants. Any big plants will be dead frameworks of moss-coloured, lichen-covered sort of old trees that haven't been able to stand the test of time and adapt to these new conditions. And all the rest of the plants will be this fresh new growth of tiny little plants, and they'll have a misting system, so they'll be sparkling with glistening in the light with these little dewdrops all over their leaves, and the little fairy lights all through the middle of it all will be shining up through them all, representing the way that the people who are helping us to shine.
Well, we've only got a week to go. I can't wait to see it. You've got a hell of a lot of work to do between now and then. So Dan, thanks for talking to us, and good luck for Ellerslie.
Thanks, Dave.